Hello everyone, welcome to Worship Media. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell.
I could. Where will I start from?
It's okay.
I want to listen anyone.
Hello guys, how you guys doing? Chidi here. Let's go ahead and invite people. We're just trying to bring you live updates. Uh, Forgive me, it's not long I woke up, so my eyes are still very, very heavy. I've not even had a chance to wash my face. But right now, Moyle Shore is in court. We're happy to report that Femi Falana, his lawyer, is also in court today. And the case has been going on. There was a time they called for a meeting, and lawyers from both camps had to go and meet and try to come up with a compromise. We don't know what that compromise was, but later on it failed because they couldn't come to an agreement. Falana had spoken on so many things. For instance, let me just start from where he says that I'll read some of it. It's no, hold on 1 second. He argued a lot of things. Okay, let me say where Falana asked that the court stand down for 15 minutes. At a point, the judge said that the documents that were submitted by Falana, challenging detention of Shore, that they had lost it. They didn't even come to court with the documents. So, the usual Nigerian system, the file don't lost. So the file was not in court. Falana had to produce his own file and give to the judge for the judge to continue. Can you imagine such a shame? And so the judge now asked both teams to go and to go and meet. They met, and here it says that somebody's reporting. It says Falana is buying that two of them should meet, saying if the prosecution team will allow compromise on terms, he is okay in order to save the time of the court. And after a time, the judge stands down for 30 minutes, adjourns for 30 minutes, just brief adjournment for 30 minutes. And then later on, the counsel for both Shore and the state, they met, like I said before. And after they met, they came back, and Falana stood up and said they could not reach a compromise. And then Falana was presenting his application for bail that was filed on the 30th. And then they says that the judge cannot find the file, and Falana donated a spare copy of the file to the judge. So as it's going right now, I'm going to skip a lot of things. It says Falana brought 3 exhibits before the court, okay? And then he says that the court should adopt his written address instead of him saying it by himself. He already wrote everything that he had to say. That he was seeking that the first defendant, Omoyele Shore, has never committed any offense before, and that the investigation on the case has already been concluded, and the defendant promised not to interfere with the case. Okay, he says Shore is innocent as enshrined in the Nigerian Constitution, and he asked the DSS lawyer to convince the court that why Shore should not be granted bail. According to Falana, the complainant is saying Shore may not stand trial because he resides in the US, and that because Nnamdi Kanu jumped bail, therefore Shore should not be granted bail. Their case is scattered all over the place, that Shore is living in America. If he's living in America, why are you arresting him here. Then leave him now, just release him and transfer his case to America. They say he should not stand trial because he lives in America, and then that he may jump bail. So if somebody has stolen before, then they should lock all Nigerians now, because if you leave us to go around, that means all of us will steal. So if one human being has done something, then everybody should do it. Meanwhile, Nnamdi Kanu did not jump bail. They went to kill him. And he escaped. Foolish people. Anyway, let me forward. The Falana said he filed the Kanu affidavit on the point of law that the entire submission of the complainant that Shore was going to overthrow the government via a protest. He said Shore has no military training and he has no links to any military training. He also said that Buhari in 2011 had called for a revolution. It says that the only Nigerian that Buhari called for one and was not arrested nor prosecuted. That the only time a Nigerian has been prosecuted for calling for revolution was in 1948, way before independence. And even then, the young man was charged with sedition. They did not charge him with felony. In the colonial era, the people that gave us the law, they did not even charge anybody with. They only charged him with sedition. Now,
That's the latest.
okay, let me just go down to the latest.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Falana told the court about a book by Akinola Agoda. This is just 5 seconds ago. He told the court about a book by Akinola Agoda who urged lawyers to be revolutionary. Okay. And then the prosecution has said on behalf of DSS, 27-page counter affidavit had been filed in opposition to the application of Shore. Liman said the affidavit is accompanied by a written address, which they will adopt as the argument in the opposing application. All right, that is their own submission. Now, the prosecution submitted that under Section 162 of the Criminal Justice Act, the onus is on the prosecution to show why the defendant should not be granted bail. Among these are that the defendant will make himself available for trial and prove that he will not commit another offense, among others. Now, the prosecution submitted that the judge should disregard the entire argument of the defense, especially the cases cited. That is what their prosecution is saying right now. So that's where we are. Okay, a new update. It was citing section 162 of the Administration of Criminal Justice Act. Liman, who is the prosecution, stated reasons why the defendant standing such offense should not be granted bail. So their main issue, remember I told you, their main issue now is that they don't want Shore to be released on bail. This is what they are scrambling for. The whole thing that they are fighting is to keep Shore with them. That's their main fight. Not even the offense is committed. That he should not be granted bail. Now, I argue that the court should not consider the fact that Shore and Bakare have not committed such offense in the past. The prosecution said it is relying on the case of Dokubo Asari versus federal government. Liman stated that Asari Dokubo was charged with treasonable felony, the same as the charges preferred against Shore and Bakare. The prosecution submitted that a similar circumstance with the case at hand, the High Court and Court of Appeal held that Asari Dokubo, if granted bail, may not make his trial because he is a flight risk. He stated that this has been noted in the counter affidavit filed by DSS. So this is the most current submission by the prosecution. They are trying to cite the case of Asari Dokubo and the federal government when the court submitted that they should not grant bail to Asari Dokubo, that is a flight risk. And based on that, they did not grant him bail. So that is what the prosecution is submitting in their counter affidavits. That's what they remember. They filed a counter affidavit by yesterday. They quickly filed a counter affidavit that Shore should not be released. I think maybe I should even show you that. It said that they are. What the defendant is saying from another report of someone inside the court is that the prosecution is arguing that it's only on special grounds that a bail can be granted to Omoyele Sowore. That's what the defendant is saying. Right now, we're waiting for an update. But let me show you the case that they filed. Okay, you see, DSS had filed a counter affidavit against Shore's bail application. In that counter affidavit, they claim, among other things, that Shore may not submit himself for trial if they grant him bail. They also say that Shore has showed no remorse since his detention, but still chanting "Revolution Now" at court arraignment. So they are using that one against Omoyele Sowore, that he was shouting "Revolution Now." They also said that Sowore has past criminal records, that the charges against him are weighty and should not be a bailable. It should not be a bailable situation. It says the human rights activist has been in custody. They just reminded us that Sowore has been in custody since the 3rd of August. DSS only commenced formal trial last week. So that's the latest update that we have concerning the trial as it is going on right now. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you for all your support. How about mandate is in court too? Mandate is in court. Let me just read some of your comments. Thank you, Kadaisa. Thank you, Kentrosi Lala. Good morning, everybody. Yes, we're praying for him to be free today. The case is going on right as we speak. The prosecution has been presenting their case. At the last count, they were claiming that Shore's case can be likened to the case of Asari Dokubo. What is it? The prosecution says that Shore's offense comes with life imprisonment, and the likelihood that Shore will jump bail is evident. He said also that the likelihood of repeating the same offense is there. They went further to say that he has an exhibit that Shore chanted "Revolution" while leaving court last Monday. I mean, can you imagine these people? If somebody says something, so I'm telling you people, you know what I said before? I'm not expecting anything. I don't have any big expectation from these people today. Their main thing is to make sure that they are holding Shore. And even if they grant him bail, you're going to see the kind of conditions that you have never seen before. They're going to tell him not to talk, that if they hear the word revolution come out of his mouth, that he has broken the conditions of the bill, and they will rearrest him. So imagine that kind of situation. So we must keep looking way, further, much further than what is happening right now. If we keep waiting for them to like come up with, to arrive at something, and then we react, then we're going to be in trouble. We need to be steps ahead of them, because we know their antecedents. We know how they behave. We understand their body language. They don't want to release him. Even if the argument in court is in favor of Omoyele Sowore, I will not be surprised that they will just release him to his lawyers in court, and they'll wait for him outside the court. Immediately he steps outside the boundaries of the court, DSS will arrest him again. I'm not praying for that, but that is what I have prepared my mind for. That's the kind of thing that you expect from Nigerian government and from DSS. I'm telling you, it will need more pressure. It will need a drastic action for Sowore to get released from these people. That's just what I'm saying. So his crime now is that he said revolution. Somewhere that you're pulling and treating him like an animal. You must keep shouting revolution. The same revolution that they too were shouting before the 2015 election. That same word that they called for. That time, it was not a crime. But now, that's why we have told you that these people have run us. They have run us to the ditch. They have run this country into the ditch. It's amazing what they have turned us into. Okay? Very, quite unfortunate. Quite unfortunate what they have turned Nigeria into. Okay, so far, let me give you guys the latest updates. And so, Justice Simon of Federal High Court in Calabar has deferred the time for ruling on the bail application of journalist Abba Jalingo. He has deferred Abba Jalingo's own to midday today. They say Abba Jalingo is facing charges of treasonable felony, terrorism, and an attempt to topple the Cross River State government. Justice Amo Bida, who entered the courtroom around 9:55 a.m., said he would defer the ruling to midday. He is expected to also rule on the preliminary objection filed by the prosecution counsel, Dennis Tahemba, a deputy superintendent of police, challenging the jurisdiction of the court to hear the bail application. This is on the case of Abba Jalingo. You guys know Abba Jalingo was arrested because he's connected to Sowore, and they went to connect it to the Cross River State governor. The prosecution argued that the case of Asari Dokubo was granted 12 years after the decision of Abiola. That is what the prosecution is saying, that the case of Asari Dokubo was granted 12 years after the decision of Abiola. The prosecution, who is layman, argued that the severity of the offense is life imprisonment, and that the decision of Supreme Court in the case of Asari Dokubo, because it was considered a flash, should be considered same for the first defendant, which Sowore. Lehman said Sowore was chanting revolution over and over again, which is an indication that he is likely to commit the same offense again. These people are very, very funny. Very, very funny. Which offense? Offense of they're acting as if he actually led a revolution. That's one. But let us hear when Falana, begins his counter argument. That he will commit. So now the offense in question is shouting revolution. That is the offense that Showore has committed. And because he shouted it, or I don't know if they realize that he has not even committed the offense of revolution. He has not led a revolution. There was just a protest, and they keep referring to it. They keep referring to the offense that they say he committed. They're planning to topple the government. So he will plan to topple the government again. Me too, I'm planning in my mind to topple the government. Me, when I dream, I just dream, I just topple the government in my mind. I just remove Buhari and I place somebody who is a good person. And I just sack all the senators. I just sack all the governors and place people. In my mind, that's what I do. In my mind, I've toppled the Enugu state government and put myself as governor. So I should be in life imprisonment now. In my mind, so many times I've toppled Buhari in my mind. When I see children dying of diseases that are preventable, when I see children sitting down in a classroom with no roof over their head, when I see Nigerians being killed in South Africa, I just toppled Buhari in my head. And I put a nice president, young, sharp president like Obama. I just see, you see the kind of dreams I have. I see Nigeria Airways, flying. I see our air hostesses dressed neatly because I fly British Airways. I fly Alitalia. I fly American Airways. I fly Canada, Air Canada. I fly Air Dubai. All of these countries, I see planes that are owned by the government. But when we come to Nigeria, nothing. So if they think Showore's offense is planning to topple the Nigerian government, then they're going to lock 95% of Nigerians who have already toppled the government in their mind. They don't see Buhari as their president, but he doesn't know. They don't see, this government doesn't do anything. They don't believe in the government. So they have already toppled. If it is the thinking that is the crime, then all of us are criminals now. I didn't know. Anyway, so that's where we stand right now. We're waiting for more updates. As I get the more updates, I will tell you guys. Okay. On mandate, there is a 20-page counter affidavit that has been sent, holding on to Showore's reasons that mandate should not be granted bail, that the issue affects national security. So what they did was they just joined mandates to, this is all vendetta that all these people have. They're just using this case to settle scores that they think they have with people. They're trying to settle their score with Omoyele Showore, that he insulted the president. When Showore was writing about other presidents in the past, when he wrote against the president of, when Omoyele Showore and Sahara reporters wrote against the government of Jonathan and all the ills that was going on then, and the monies that were being squandered, this present administration, they piggybacked on it, and they used all the evidence that Sahara reporters was exposing. They used it to win their election. It was not, they didn't think Jonathan was insulted. But now that he's writing against them, it becomes an insult. You see how very, very hypocritical they are. That's why I know that God cannot be on their side. Let's be watching now. God cannot be on their side because they are liars. They are people who you use one measure for one person and use another. You use one standard of measurement for one person and then use another standard of measurement to another person. God doesn't like that. God likes fairness, and that's what we are not seeing. Now, the defense is still saying that the court should dismiss the bail application, that investigation is concluded and are ready for an accelerated judgment, even if the court will be having hearing on a daily basis. That's what the prosecution is saying. They should allow them to hold Sowore, that the case should just go quickly. In fact, they just want them to finish the case, pass judgment, and that's what they just want the lawyer to. They're advising her. Remember why we put you there. Remember why we brought the case before you. You should just do quick and just sentence Sowore. That's what we want. Forget about all other things. Just let us just finish this case. Let's finish the case and you know, give Sowore this sentence. That's just what they want. They don't want any other thing. Okay. It says he refers to Nnamdi Kanu's case that he was charged with similar case and he jumped bail after they granted him bail. Okay, Falana is up right now. On Nnamdi Kanu, he says Sowore has not been charged along with Nnamdi Kanu. So I don't know why they keep on bringing. What is it that these people are so afraid of Nnamdi Kanu? You went to his house with all the tanks in the world. One person, unarmed civilian, you attacked him with a tank. And when you attacked him with a tank, what happened? He managed to escape. God rescued him. And when Sowore went to meet him in America, you panicked. That's why you're panicking. Hey, Sowore met with Nnamdi Kanu. Oh my God, oh, that was the first thing you accused him of. When that one did not stick, I thought I was going to see that come up. It didn't come up anymore. You people just allow that one. Now, everything, every minute, every second, you're tying him to Nnamdi Kanu. So that's that's why Falana is telling you people, Sowore is not standing trial with Nnamdi Kanu. Why do you always keep on making reference to Nnamdi Kanu? You just look for something to just go and hold. Just go and go to, so maybe you go to Sahara Reporters and see whenever Sahara Reporters or Sowore, if he wrote something about somebody, you should just go and make reference to that too and bring it up and say, he did this one, he called this person's name, he was seen with this person, he was seen with that person. Maybe that's what it should be now. So maybe so you people are not serious. Go and sue all the people who have met Nnamdi Kanu. Nnamdi Kanu came here to Toronto. He was received massive, the Nigerian community here, plenty, mainly the Igbo community, but a lot of Nigerians just came to see Nnamdi Kanu here. He was given a resounding reception. There was no policeman within many kilometers of the venue. It was just ordinary security that the organizers brought, and then their own IPOB security. No guns, nothing. Walking freely, the same person that you people said was a terrorist. You think if he was a terrorist, America, Canada, Europe will let him walk around? How come he is walking free all over the world except in his own country? You are the only ones that think he's a criminal. So you're not being fair. He met with Sowore in New York. You're accusing Sowore of meeting with Nnamdi Kanu. But Nigerians have met with Nnamdi Kanu all over the place. Me too. That means you people are waiting to sue me too and sue every other person who has met Nnamdi Kanu. Every day he's transmitting. Do you know how many years you people have tried to shut down Radio Biafra? Shame on you. You could not even shut you know how many times you celebrated that you shut down Radio Biafra? Just like say you're closing the account of all your enemies on Facebook. How can you do that? You think you own Facebook? You think you own social media? You think you own internet? Come on. There are millions of ways. So it's like you trying to stop the rain from falling. Hey, we stop the rain from falling in 200 rains, 300 rains, 1,000. Okay, we stop 256,000 rains from falling. You're wasting you're chasing the wind. That's what you're doing, and now you go tired. That's what we are. Everybody who is opposing you, the whole population that are opposing you are like wind, and you're wasting your time. That's what you're saying. Anyways, so you should just stop using Kano. Falana says that there are several persons charged for same offense and granted bail, and if they grant that, let me see, that if well, they're talking about Carlos case, that if the case is grievous, they can extradite Kano, but they are not serious. That's what I was saying. If they really think that Kano's case is very, very serious, why have they not applied for extradition? That's what you should do. If Kano's case holds water, if Kano's case is serious, then why are you wasting your time? Why are you bringing it here? Just apply for extradition. Just apply, and the government, there is no way any government around the world, especially in the US, will tolerate any terrorist. If you are a terrorist, you will be on their list. Don't they understand? If anybody is a terrorist, Nigeria is the smallest nation. Let them leave the Boko Haram people now to travel abroad. Let them leave the Fulani headsmen. They are on the watch list. They are on the radar. Once they cross Nigeria border, as they are landing on the other side, they will be arrested. I'm telling you. You don't know. These people, they don't even know what is going on. So don't keep on referring to a case that is not connected to Shore's case. That's what Falana is telling them. It doesn't make sense. Every time they just say, because of Kano's case, because of the Kano's case. They told them if the government is serious, they should extradite Kano, but because it will be such a very big embarrassment to them. Because when they write to US government to extradite Kano, or what extradite, they will reply them. And when they reply them, we will get a copy of that and we will publish it, and they will be messed up. It will be so shameful. That's why they are not talking about it. Maybe they said IPOB was a terrorist organization. If IPOB was a terrorist organization, how come they book for a hall and the government of the place will grant them permission to hold an event? And Nnamdi Kanu, who is a terrorist organizer, will come and hold a meeting in America. You think if they recognize him, you see, the whole world sees Nigeria for what it is. The whole world sees the government as what it is. It's only the government who does not realize that. Everybody sees that they are naked, but they are there pretending that they are not naked. Everybody's laughing at you, but you know, like a mad person, a crazy person walking on the road. Everybody sees that you're naked, but they are saying, you see my coat, you see my agbada, I'm looking so neat. No, you're naked. Falana went to say that the court should throw away the argument of the DSS lawyer, as his points are obsolete to the current happenings. The judge tells the court she will retire for recess and will come back for the ruling on the matter. So the judge wants 1 hour for her ruling. This is the time when I whisper to you people, okay? Don't say that I told you. But now, the judge is going for 1 hour. She will go and call the people who have paid her and hired her to do the job. But don't say that I told you. This is the time when they go. The judge, instead of deciding her case in her chamber, go and see now. She will call and say, I don't know what to do. This man is putting up a very good argument. He say, we don't care. We have told you. You know the agreement that we have entered into with you. So you go and do what we ask you to do. She's now calling all the Oga. She will call DSS Oga. She will call Abakaira and all these people. But don't say that I told you. Let's go back to listening to the thing. So right now, we're going to be waiting for the judge to come back in an hour. All right. So I'm going to try to show you guys some pictures from court where Omoyele Sowore was. Okay, let me just try and organize and show you guys some pictures. Okay, just hold on, because I know a lot of you are wondering how is he looking, how was he in church today. So we'll just go ahead and show you that. Where are some of these pictures? I'll get them here and show you what Sowore looked like today in court. I'm sure some of you may have seen it in some dailies, but I'll just get some of mine and show you. It was in high spirit today. They were very, very lucky. I see. I think that our full in blue. I think maybe he came to court today, but I'm not sure. But I'm going to show you this. Okay. Yeah. Okay. If you go to Worship Media, you're gonna see some of the on our Facebook page. Yeah. If you go to our Facebook page, you will no, don't mind. I don't want to call his name here. Maxwell Chinagorom Obidiegu. Don't mind him. He took some bribe and they sued him. His case, his own has not even. When he will rot in jail, we don't even want to talk about him. You know, like give him the 1 minute of. But I can give him 1 minute of shame. So Leopard was in court today and under criminal charges that he took bribe in the Kogi case, so they sued him. He doesn't even know what's coming. When you see when his like I told you people, it's a distraction. So we're not focusing on him. There'll be another day for him. This is Sowore in court. Yeah, that's him in court today. In very high spirit, I'm telling you, he's in very high spirit today. It's Leopard. They are trying to remind me that his name is not Leopard, that's Leonard. No, it's not Leonard, it's Leopard. Leopard does not change his spots. That's who he is. And see what they brought. They brought this one to church because Sowore is planning a coup. So his army. No, don't do that someone. His army, in case Sowore brings his army, this is what they brought. Or in case we come with our guns, this is what they brought to church. Yeah, on Worship Media Facebook page, somebody says that Sowore, they're making Sowore more popular. They don't even know. Giving him just free publicity. Sowore is right now. Hey, that's Agba Jalingo. It says journalism is not a crime. That's Agba Jalingo. In high spirits too. That's Agba Jalingo in court. See, these are the true Nigerians. These are people that we celebrate. These are the true heroes of Nigeria right now. not the people that are going to parties and celebrating independence, nonsense independence, while your fellow young people. Hey, Tukwe Fashua was also in court today. We really appreciate him. You guys know him, presidential candidate of I think the ANC. He has been very supportive. See him, very supportive. He was in court today. What else? But check out. Okay, I don't know if I showed you guys Mandate. Mandate was in court too. Our own dear Mandate. See, that's Mandate there beside show. That's Mandate. Mandate was in court today. Mandate 2. Okay, sorry. Tugbofasho is ANRP. Yeah, we really appreciate him. Thank you, Max Wachinagoran, for correcting me there. You see, that's Mandate. Mandate 2. Students they've now they don't help his market well. They have promoted Mandate so much. Now Mandate has become a force to reckon with among youths. They just helped him well. He will go through this thing, he will survive it, and he will become much better person than who he is right now. They've just exploded his political career. They don't even know it. That's the funny thing with them. You think that you are showing somebody. You say you're showing somebody pepper, and what do? You actually make the person more popular than they used to be. So that's the case. Okay. Let's see what is the update. Remember, the judge has taken 1 hour to let me see your comment. Let me tell us what you think about all of these things. And say, but where are the Nigerian students? Stars KC says, where are the Nigerian students? See, it's a two-way thing. See, in Nigeria, I don't, before I would say people don't go to protest. It is what it is. I don't know. I don't even know. Sometimes I want to defend them and say, when you protest, they'll lock you up. But it is their future that somebody is stealing from. You see, if you see an armed robber who steals from you every day, it's only a tree that you will come with an axe, you will come with a knife, you will come with a chainsaw, you stand there, you start, preparing the chainsaw, putting your gasoline in the chainsaw, getting ready to cut down the tree. And the tree will not say anything. The tree will not do anything. It will wait for you. You start cutting it. It will stand there till you cut it down. But a human being, if somebody comes to you and they want to kill you, if somebody comes and you see them, they still have time. They're using this big gun, this local gun that you have to put gunpowder. Anyway, most of you are too young. You don't even know what I'm talking about. But there's a gun that before you shoot it, you have to pour gunpowder, then use a long stick, and then chook it, press it, put another gunpowder, chook it, then put this ball bearing, put it in the mouth, then you will aim and shoot. After you shoot that one, then you have to come back again and go through the same process. Now, if you're a human being and somebody comes up to you with that kind of gun and say they're about to shoot you down, won't you fight back? At least you have to fight back. That's the case with the Nigerian student. That's the case with the Nigerian youth. I don't know why. These people are stealing from you. These people are killing your future, and you're not doing anything. At least do something. Even if you don't go out on the street to fight them, do something, write something, start a protest inside the school. But I don't know. I don't get it. Nigerian students have changed. I think they've bought over everybody, or I don't know what they do. Honestly, I really don't know. Daniel says, actually, who Maxwell says, Mandate is the next governor for Osun State. Yes, so Daniel, what the federal government is afraid of is another Nnamdi Kanu in the West. Oh my God. Federal government doesn't know that a lot of Nnamdi Kanus exist all over the place in Nigerians. Thank you so much, Kazim. Thank you. Idris, Habod. I say I hate when somebody here in my working place complaining that my hero with Oshomole comparing Oshomole with Shore is like comparing wait now. It's like comparing Niva Queen with Goody Goody. Me, I'm too old now. I use examples that are too old. I don't know what else to compare it with. It's like comparing bitter cola with wait now, with sweet orange. That's what it is. Okay, yeah. You know, they say that when a husband and wife live together for some time, they'll begin to change. But somebody has said that since Oshomole married that his half-caste Uyibo woman, we don't see any change. Anyway, Daniel Osoro says, I advise Yoruba and Shore to forget about nationalism because they won't find solidarity there because nobody believes in Nigeria. You should fight for indigenous Yoruba people. Well, you know what? So many people have fought for the indigenous people, including IPOB. But look at what they've done to IPOB. Look at what they tried to do with Nnamdi Kanu. So is in support of everybody's method of finding a solution. His own method is to wrench to wrench this control that they have over our people, over our minds, over our nation. We need to take back our nation. That is what we're after. Our nation is being raped. Our nation is being stolen right from under our nose. And what we want to do is to restore our nation, to make sure that we, the citizens, are in charge of our nation. Anybody who is trying to destroy it, to get them out of the way. When we are able to wrench our nation out of the fangs of these people, then we'll be able to sit down and decide how we want to do with this nation. That is what we're saying. The same thing that Nnamdi Kanu is saying he does not believe in this Nigeria because there was never a time that the tribes inside Nigeria sat down, but people don't understand him. He said there was never a time they sat down together and said, let us be Nigeria. It was the white man that said, okay, since we are fighting with Germany, fighting with others, okay, you know what? These people, this entity here, this one is our own. This is British colony. You people can take Ivory Coast, you people can take Chad, you people can take Togo. This one, French took Togo, Britain took Nigeria. And they came inside Nigeria and said, Hausa people, or Northerners, Easterners, Westerners, I know you people have your different ways, but you must be together and exist as one country. Which name will give you? Which name? I don't even know one. They call the girlfriend. Say, honey, do you have any name? He said, call them, because of River Niger. Call say Niger. Just add Nigeria. Oh yeah, it sounds nice. Okay. Then they call us Nigeria. That is the annoyance that Nnamdi Kanu has. That so many countries have already changed their name when they actually came back to their consciousness and said, no. This thing doesn't mean anything. Let us look for a name that befits us. Nnamdi Kanu fought for Nigeria a long time before he got tired and said, okay, you know what, this thing is not working. Let me fight for my own people. Anyway, so that is just a little explanation there for you to see how everybody's thinking is working together. And Mr. Chidi, we need a platform to educate our youth to be brave and stand up for our right. The youth are afraid of being locked up or killed. How long are we going to do this? We need to stand up. Please, my brother, any Shitu Holomeleken, anything that you can do, any platform is welcome. That's what I'm doing with my own platform. I'm doing the best I can. When I was doing this before, they challenged me and say, oh, Chidi, you are, hold on, let me see whether there's any updates. No updates first. No updates yet. They said that Chidi, you're just staying there in Toronto and talking. If you're serious, come back to Nigeria and mobilize people. That is what led us to start Omoyele Sowore, to start the Take It Back movement. And then eventually, that is what led people like me to join the movement and go back to Nigeria to run for governorship. It was in our bid to educate our youth. We have done our best. There was no sponsorship. We used our own money to do our own thing. Okay. Oh, so Sowore was also harassed by DSS people again right now for greeting reporters. Now, wow. For greeting supporters in court, Sowore is being harassed by men of DSS. What are they even trying to do? The court will resume by 1:30, and DSS was harassing Sowore again. What is these people's own? What are they really afraid of? Look at them again, haggling him. If you see in the picture, they're haggling him again. But this is not a surprise. I must tell you that Sowore's case has a lot of similarity with Nnamdi Kanu's case. And what does that tell every young? I wish Nigerians will understand that whether it is Nnamdi Kanu, whether it is Sowore, whether it's going to be another Ekpong Basi tomorrow, whether it's going to be another Maman Shehu tomorrow, it is the same treatment. So these people summarizes what the government thinks of the Nigerian citizen. When Kanu was undergoing trial, remember when he was shouting at them, when they were haggling him, it is the same thing. They have no respect for the Nigerian citizen. They have no respect for your fundamental human rights. That is what they are after. They are attacked. I don't know why they do that. Is it training? Maybe they don't have good training. Maybe I don't understand it. Or is it somebody that just says, oh, what you have to do is just make him uncomfortable. Or they just want to push you to do something. They are hoping that because since they use it in court, it's a deliberate attempt to make you to do something that they will use. I think that's what they're doing. Adeola says, nowadays, Nigerian students are simply mumu picking. They don't have the courage. That's simple. So the vexed majority of us, when they are abroad, we don't see things, no fit, come out comfortable to support Sowore. This is so sad, my dear. What can we do? We're just doing our best. Stephanie Sinota says, Chidi, please, what can you say about those celebrating Nigerian independence when they are supposed to ignore it for solidarity? They are just, you will always have saboteurs. What can we do about them? Let them keep sabotaging. They are sabotaging the future of their children, the future of their families. And karma, they say, is a bitch. Everything that goes around comes around. They will reap the fruits of their labor. We were supposed to protest. Maybe we will still protest in front of one of them, but I don't know. But the truth is that there are so many of them. All you can do is to just boycott. That's why we live in a free society. Just boycott what they're doing. Just ignore them. Just forgive their stupidity. Forgive their ignorance. Some people, all they are doing is just talking about independence. For them, some people, it's just business. They just want to collect money from gates. There should be musicians are going all over the place. They are pretending that nothing is happening in Nigeria. What they care is about shaking bomb and doing. That's just what they want to promote, collect their money and go. They don't care. What are you going to do? Are you going to shut all those musicians down? No. It's a free society. All you have to do is tell your own story. Let them do their own thing. You do your own thing. That's the struggle. Freedom cometh by, that's what we sing. We say, freedom cometh by struggle. Freedom comes by struggle, by struggle. You must struggle. It is not for the faint-hearted. It is not for the lazy. It's not for us to just stand and complain and look at what somebody, it's just like you saying, oh, why are people buying cars? Why are people flying airplanes when people are walking? People will continue to do whatever they have to do. You The problem is not with them. The problem is with us. Those that believe, those that understand, those that have the privilege to do certain things. We should do more. We are not doing more. That's the problem. If we can do as much as those people are doing, we'll be able to counter them. That's the problem. We must be able to counter these people. Since Buhari's wife, the first lady, has given us all the clue we need, but Nigerian youths are still gullible. It's not only Buhari's wife, so many people have given you clue. Frank Abiola, you cannot get Biafra if you don't fight for Nigeria. That's the truth. The only person who's going to listen to agitation will be a good government. If not for anything, or for sure, in Nigeria, they should have ignored the celebration of Nigeria that is not working. Don't blame the Nigerian youth. They are waiting for magic money. Their brain has been hypnotized. My brother, this is from my Sonny. My brothers, these are zombies. They are just behaving like animals infected with virus. Stars Casey says, Dr. Chidi, where Charlie Boy, where Charlie Boy day now? My dear, everybody has themselves to answer to. Okay, everybody will stand before God and answer for anything. I cannot hold brief for Charlie Boy. Charlie Boy is doing what he thinks is best. Stephanie Sinota says, okay, actually, Daniel says, I'm a principal officer in IPOB, but I came out for Revolution Movement in Port Harcourt presently as Active Junction. Thank you so much. This is what they are afraid of. Nnamdi Kanu devoted his broadcast yesterday. Go and check it out on our YouTube page. He devoted his broadcast to Shore. He was just talking about Shore. Radio Biafra was reporting Shore. This is the kind of thing they don't want to see. They want us to fight each other. As long as we fight each other, as long as we're in disagreement, they are happy. But whenever we begin to pull our resources together, whenever young people begin to say, oh boy, it be like, say, this thing where they talk, we seem to agree on, we may not agree totally. No. As human beings, we must have our differences. There's no two ways about it. But once we begin to look at ourselves, once we begin to pollinate our ideas, once we begin to marry our stands, then we begin to see that we have a common enemy, and these guys begin to be scared of us. They are scared right now. They are scared that Nnamdi Kanu is not tearing Shore apart. They are scared that people in IPOB, before they said that Shore was compromised, they said Shore was with the government. The government is using Shore, until they saw that they put Shore in prison, until they saw Shore being manhandled. A lot of my friends who were before, if we are doing this thing now, you see a lot of people come there, they'll be harassing us, they'll be cussing us. The fact that you don't see it anymore shows that we are all beginning to understand each other. And that is what the government is so after. These guys are pissed, they are peeing in their pants. And that is what you want to see. Very soon you're going to see people of the North who are independent-minded, who are tired of this government. You will see them also coming into ideological alliance. And then the revolution will happen. The revolution is imminent. Whether they like it or not, there is nothing you can do about the revolution. Now, thank you so much, Daniel. We need people like you. Erica just posted the video about that's the video about Nnamdi Kanu. If you watch the video that Nnamdi Kanu did yesterday, you'll be wondering what is going on. And that is what the administration, they didn't even plan anything. No, Nnamdi Kanu, I was in that meeting. That's the funny thing. I was waiting for that case to come up, and all of a sudden they threw it out. I think somebody went and talked to them like, oh boy, una be mumu. Go and, don't you know that the hotel has camera? Don't you know that everything, the next thing is they will go and bring the hotel's camera, and they'll play the camera, and you hear the audio, and you see that when they were meeting, that nothing even happened. So why are you people holding on to a case that will embarrass you? And they threw away that case. I was waiting for them to bring up the case. So anyway, go and see that thing and see what's going on. What Nnamdi Kanu thinks about Omoyele Sowore. Yeah, united we stand. We may not agree totally, but the end goal is what we look for. Thank you so much. From Akwa Ibom, but I refuse to buy the Igbo sentiment people try to sell to us. All I want is freedom from this bondage. Yes, let's just... Well, everybody wants freedom. I keep telling people that what my grandmother in the village wants to do is to eat her pounded yam or akpu or gari with her egusi soup or okra soup. What she wants is to be able to go to her farm, collect her small vegetable, do her small soup. When I come, she bring that small, they call it woman bench, small chair like this. They just put it and then I sit down on it and they give me soup in one pot. What do they call it? One steel, one iron plate. You know that iron plate that when it falls on the ground, it will chip off. That one we don't chip off. That's what I like. Don't blame me. That's how I like to eat food when I go to the village. I like to sit outside on that small bench, very short bench, and they'll put the food for me. Put one on the flat plate, put one on the bowl. Then you just, when you're eating the soup, sweat will be trickling from your body. Then they'll go and bring water for you in a cup they call Baminda cup. Baminda cup, they get that water from a big pot that is in a cool... I don't know how that pot tastes. I miss those things. When you taste the water tastes so nice. I miss those things. That's what we want. Just peace. That's the peace we don't care about your mighty. Just carry on that on the go. We don't just give us peace. That's what we want. That's what everybody's asking for. Why is it difficult? Why is it difficult for them to do? Why? I don't understand. My dear Osaro Nojimo, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, Omoyele is... You see, the reason why I keep hammering on the fact that Omoyele is my friend is because when we just talk about politics, diplomacy, and all these big words, professionalism, people don't tend to, identify with the situation. But I just wanted people to know that if somebody is your friend, that's what you do for them. I remember very vividly when Nnamdi Kanu was in incarceration, when all those months that he was in prison, Radio Biafra, that is really what inspired me. Uchemefo continuously every day. His own was every day. He was transmitting on Radio Biafra. He was commenting on what was going on. He kept the spirit alive. He kept on doing whatever he wanted to do. There was nothing that anybody could... He was not afraid. He was not afraid of anybody arresting him. He was not afraid of the government. But of course, it was outside the country. But he kept the spirit alive. He kept going. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing for Omoyele Sowore. We recognize that Sowore will do the same thing, much more than we are doing, because he has a special calling. If I was in jail, believe you me, I think Omoyele Sowore will not sleep. He will make so much noise. I'm telling you. So that is the least that we can do for him. All those of us who regard him as a friend, because he's our mate. He's not like one old man and we are no. He's our mate. So that's why we are treating him the way we are treating him. Let me see this other question. Daniel, I thank God for his awesomeness going on the political class, enjoying from the feudal mindset of the unenlightened will soon be a thing of the past. Yes. Frank Abiola says, Dr. Nigeria is finished. Please tell Omoyele to leave for now. When Nigeria youth are ready, they'll beg him to lead them. It's okay. For us, it's a calling. We have to just do what we are doing. All right, we feel that we are called to do what we are doing, and that is what we are doing. On some other forum, people are commenting and saying that this is going to be a long drawn battle to save our nation. I just want to prepare our minds as the judge goes into recess. That she took a 1 hour recess, 1 hour. Okay, so usually that's the time they're supposed to take to research our constitution, research cases. It's supposed to be the judge doing her own research and then come and give a decision. But in this case, I'm not there, but I want to predict for you what the judge is doing right now. The judge is making calls, and people say, Chidi, don't do that. It's not fair. No. What are you? Why? This is what they do. They go ahead. The judge is taking 1 hour to go and call on the people who hired her for the job. Did you forget that this case is supposed to be under Justice Taiwo? Why did they? And I don't know why. These guys are very mischievous. They just carried the case and they went and found. Why don't you use outside judge? Why don't you use a judge from another place? You go and use Igbo judge, so that when the judge does your bidding, you come and clash Igbo people and Yoruba people head. And the Yoruba people say, oh, it's an Igbo judge. They use Igbo people because that's what they succeed in doing in our country. If an Igbo man does something, every tribe will say, oh, it's Igbo people that did it. Oh, all Igbo people are bad. If a Yoruba man does something, they'll say, it's Yoruba people. All Yoruba people don't like anybody. All Yoruba people don't like it. It's Yoruba people. If it's an Efik person, say, all Efik people. So there's in the news as a thief man did something to somebody. All thief people are like that. We should stop generalizing. We should not always fall into this trap that they set for us. If this justice, Ojukwu or whoever they call her, if she does their bidding, if she is compromised and she does something that is not just, that is not justified, she is acting for herself. Nobody sent her. She will stand before God, before our country, before anything to defend herself. It is she they do the thing by herself, not anybody. All right. I think I'm gonna have to maybe pause this and come back because I know it takes for some of us. You're running on data if you're not using your Wi-Fi, so there's no need to keep you on. I'll come back after the judge has come back to come and give you guys updates. So just stay tuned. Watch out for notification. And the judge, let me see when the judge went into recess so that we can track the time. The judge tells the court retire for recess. That's about 6:26. Yeah, just about almost 30 minutes ago. 30 minutes ago. So maybe 30 minutes from now, we're going to come back to see what the judge. Yeah, so the judge will come back 1:30 p.m. Yeah, it's 1:30 p.m. So yeah, I'm right. In about 30 minutes time, the judge will come back. All right. So I'm gonna. What should I do? What do you guys think I should do? Should I just stay on for 30 minutes or call? You know what you can do? I'm gonna stay on. What you can do is just okay. You know what? Let me just cut it and then I'll come back in 30 minutes. Thank you very much.